So, hello again. On to part two. I think I remember back in the day when I was a single man and just playing till 4 in the morning on Football Manager, and all I thought about sometimes. You've heard of work-life balance? Well, I think at that time was Football Manager life balance. So just be wary that it's going to take over your world. So have a bit of balance, okay? Yeah, and I think again it's all about the reports. You're going to get lots of reports, some useful, some you can make changes. Some of it, will your assistant manager will give you reports on the next opposition, and but you might be playing, Manchester United or Manchester City, and there's nothing you can do. They're just better than you, and you do what you can, I suppose. You're going to get lots of staff suggestions. Yeah, I tend to kind of go with what the staff suggest. Either you know out of the game or during the game. Sometimes you might not agree with them. You're going to have board visions that they think that this is what you need to do. You might disagree with them, but usually the board basically says tough. Depending on your reputation. If your reputation is very good, you get a bit more say and a bit more leeway as far as the board goes. You're going to have a lot of meetings with your team and your staff, but you'll read it. A lot of it is just common sense as far as what you say to the team, and they might disagree with it, and you have to change your opinion. But you'll get into it. It's all good. But ultimately, yeah, this isn't FIFA, so you make all the decisions. You get to game time, and then you just sit back and just watch it go. And during the game, you're going to have little decisions like subs or tactic changes. But for the most part, you're just watching the game. There we go. So on we go with part two and the continuation of the tutorial, and hopefully you continue to get something out of this. Okay. So you've had the public health warning. You're going to be faced with lots of stats, lots of words, lots of numbers. I'm presuming a lot of you have thought about having this game and kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Well, yeah, you've got to be prepared to give yourself time to learn it. Because I tell you now, when you do, whatever you spent, 20 quid, 30 quid, 40 quid, 50 quid for this game, it'll be worth it because it'll take a lot of your time. Tell the wife, tell the girlfriend you're going upstairs for some work stuff, and she won't see you for hours. But try and get outside occasionally. So, the next kind of bit is just a lot of this kind of thing. Some of it is just information, some of it you might have to make decisions. For example, this. Obviously, the club reputation, media prediction second. I'm guessing Manchester City number one. Fierce rivals Everton. Yeah, maybe Manchester United should be there as well, I think. Again, bits of information here. Tells you the transfer budget that you're going to have and wage budget. Going forward, though, you can adjust the budget. If you need more wages, you can have a slider that can reduce the transfer budget. Or I'm guessing that's what usually happens. Next along, again, this is just information. It's kind of giving you an idea about who the team is, the key players, the captains, the young players, loan obligations. Okay, again, just information. Some of the information on here, they've kind of done before, but just in a different format. But I guess with Football Manager going so long, it just gets heavier and heavier every year with more information, which I guess just makes it a bit more realistic. So as you see here, it's just a lot of things that the club are expecting you to follow, kind of the how they want to play, who they want to sign, things about the stadium. You can always put requests to the board, which you can speak to the board and say, I want to expand the stadium, or I want to do this. They can agree with you, they can turn you down. It depends on the situation. For example, if you're selling 90% of your tickets and want to expand the stadium, well, they're going to turn you down. But if you're filling the stadium up for 2 years solid, you've got a better chance of getting an expanded stadium or a new stadium. But it all costs money. Again, looking at what they expect from each competition. And these are all things that, again, it says required, it says preferred. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose your job, but of course, like anything, if the fans are not happy with you, it just makes it a bit more tentative as far as a bit dodgy about how your job's going to go. And then down here, let's have a look. Yeah, just about the contract. And obviously the future goals. Okay, right. This is new. Obviously, there's lots of information they want to give you, and I guess it's just giving you an idea of giving you options, really, of saying, well, do you want this now? Do you want it in a more kind of staggered way, I suppose? So yeah, to help you settle in, you're going to get lots of emails, and again, I think when you start the game, there's going to be quite a lot of this, a lot of reading, a lot of meeting players, a lot of meeting the team, etc., and meeting the staff. Okay. Right, welcome once again, and we hope this is the start of something special. So, it's probably a good idea to do these kind of things at the start, have a press conference to meet the media, friendlies, and a meeting with backroom staff. I don't know. I mean, maybe this doesn't have a big impact on how you're seen or how safe your job is, but I always kind of get a bit worried, and I always like to think, well, okay, I'll do the press conference. It'll only take a couple of minutes. So I'll confirm this. Again, a bit more information, just about your players, who the captain is, who the key player, which I guess we kind of know that already, that Salah is the number one guy these days. Hot prospect, yes, certainly is Harvey Elliott, but there's one or two others as well. I guess that's the other thing. I suppose if you start the game, it might be a good idea to start with a team that you know very well, so that you've got a better idea about what you need to do, who the players are, and who you want to look after, and who you want to get rid of, etc. Take the squad induction. Let's have a look at this then. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. It's just the squad screen, really. All right, yeah, at the start, it will do this. I think it doesn't do it going forward, but right at the start, it'll always do this thing where it'll point you in the direction of things you need to be aware of. So it's telling you that that's where you click on the players. Okay, that's if they were selected. That's the current situation of where they're at, as in there's lots of little things like if they want to buy another club, if they're injured. If you hover over these during the game, it'll kind of tell you who's wanting your player, how long a player is injured for, if that's listed, if they're listed for transfer, or possibly listed for, I think loan is different. Listed for transfer, if they're on holiday, which we probably are at the moment. It'll also tell things like if they're on internationals. This one, that TRN, that just means that they're due to sign for another club, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you the date that they're due to sign for another club. Obviously, the list of the players' names, the position, just kind of this kind of thing, it'll tell you, like it says there, the morale, how well they're doing. That's going to change if the club's not doing well, if the team's doing pretty crap, or you're not playing them, etc. But it also depends on each player has an influence in the club. So if Jordan Henderson, for example, who's the captain, if you don't play him and you make him upset, then that could have an impact on the rest of the team. Whereas if somebody is just not even a first teamer and he's quite young and you upset him, it's not going to have much of an impact. Again, contract offers, it's just a list of kind of things you want to look at. As it, you can read it. It states what it is. This obviously it's just a filter of what you want to look at. If you want to just obviously look at your defenders, you can untick all these. If you want to look at your under 23s, etc., you can just tick or untick as you please. And then just a whole summary about this screen. You will see a lot because this is obviously what you'll always go into when you're looking at your squad. Okay then, let's have a look at the inbox. So when you on this screen, you can either click on the inbox here to read it, or you can just click over here and just click on next unread. And obviously, I think when you've read them all, it'll just continue on next. So here we go. Just Liverpool have confirmed the new manager, eyebrows raised, etc., etc. This is what we read before. Next. Again, you'll get a lot of this kind of thing. It'll tell you contract expiring. You'll have plenty of chance. I mean, this is saying in the last year of contract. So in the next kind of few months, presumably you know how football works, that if you've got a player that's contracts due in a year, if you want him, you better be renewing it within the next 6 months, or they might sign for a new club when 6 months are due up. So yeah, it's just telling us contracts are due. But you've got plenty of time to kind of go in and renew these, seeing how they play. Do you want them? Do you not want them, etc. Okay. You can down here. You can make your future decisions about, do you want to renew them or set for release, etc. I don't tend to do that. I think there's no rush. Certainly, if you want to, you've got plenty of time to see if you want them or not. Tactics. Now, this is something that, if I'm honest, I had never really gone too deep into. I think, tactics. Who knows? I mean, I don't know how much influence it has. I mean, there's the thing that, do you want to play your tactics, or do you want to play your best players and fit a tactics around that? This kind of thing is new. Like if I click on this, create a tactic. I've not seen this before. Create a tactic now. And again, it's giving you an idea about, okay, all the new ones like the Gegenpress. So obviously you can choose what kind of tactics, what kind of game you want to play. Okay, click on that. It'll give you an idea about what that tactic means. Okay. I suppose some of this, you kind of need a bit of a knowledge of football to understand what all this means and give you an idea of what you want to choose, really. I think yeah, at the start it'll give you a bit of an option of what formation you want. Yeah, depending on how you want to play, or your team, or what knowledge you know already. Next. Some of this, yeah, I mean, you can go into it as deep as you want, really. It may be that you want to just go into the games and then change as you see fit. If a player's not playing well, or you see the systems not working, you're simply losing. But again, you might just want to just get into it first. Yeah, just telling you. This this is something that you can choose before the game. Your assistant manager will give you advice on what you should do. Also, when you're playing the game and you're and you have options of tactics, which will be making subs, it will also give you options to make changes to this. So if you suddenly decide, you put subs on and you've got no wingers, or you're behind, you might just want to lump it into the box, or time wasting if you're winning the game, etc., etc. But you can always change that before or during the game. Again, just talking about the tactics. Yeah, this has got a lot heavier than it used to be, but again, you can choose to go into this as much as you want, and you're going to have options of letting your assistant manager and your staff take more responsibility if you want. Okay. And a general overview, which is just obviously which players play in which positions, and it'll also tell you how suited they are in each position as well. Wow, sweeper, keeper. And again, if this is Football Manager, it kind of just gives you a bit of an instruction on what everything means, which is kind of good. Yeah, just a final summary. Okie dokie, right, we'll stop there. So that was pretty heavy. So I guess that's Football Manager. So presumably you already knew what you're getting into. And as I said to you, this is an instruction for beginners. So we kind of have to go through all of this. So there you have it. That's kind of the end of the first part of the tutorial. So once again, hopefully you got something useful out of that, and you got some good tips. Following that, I did skip a few days. Generally, it was just things to read, a few meetings, and things that I'm sure you'll be able to pick up and just work out what you need to do, really. And it's relatively straightforward. I am posting 2 or 3 videos on more specific stuff that you do more often, like the general spine and the main menus, and just a run through of those, and just again little tips about things that I found useful that in the past. Also, same again with the player menus and just things that what it all means and what I found useful, and also like transfers, making transfers and offering contracts and things like that, and just little tips that I found that you tend to need or I found useful, and that's it really. So just keep an eye out for those. I think going forward, tutorial over with. Hopefully then I'll be getting into a game and putting on videos of a career, really. So joining a team, a different team, and starting off from scratch. So hopefully you'll keep an eye out for those future videos, and follow me and just join the journey, really. And obviously your own game. Hopefully, again, I've given you helped you out, really, and you can have a good game and enjoy the game as much as I've done in the past. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll keep watching.